Hello everyone, welcome to Catch DevOps with Mohan YouTube channel. Please subscribe my YouTube channel for more AWS and DevOps videos, and also please check my previous videos to learn about AWS and click on bell icon to get notification on my videos. So now we are going to discuss about why DevOps we are going to use and what is the use case of DevOps. Like why should we use in DevOps in the IT industry? Like when we are going to develop an application, what is the main part of DevOps here? So if you are even without knowing anything about DevOps or IT industry, how development will work, so we can know about it now. So first thing is, so if you want to develop an application, any particular application, like if you take one example, you have Facebook application. So Facebook is, we are going to develop a application from our end. So we will be having a huge number of employees, like everyone will be working on this particular application development. So that will be, there will be software development life cycle. So as we know, there is a software development lifecycle which we follow to develop a application. So here Facebook is an application. This particular application is developing a particular organization. So if you take any organization name, you can take it any one organization name. So for example, BMB Solution is a one of the company name. So this company is working for the Facebook application, and they are going to develop this application in a in particular timeline. So client will ask to release it within 6 months, and how they are going to use. So if you go to the application, there is a some software development life cycle. If you check software development life cycle, we have in that one we have some models. So as you know, we have waterfall model, iteration model. So previously, how IT industry was using to develop a application is waterfall model. So that is a waterfall model which we are using to develop a application or to develop any software. So that is waterfall model. Okay. So waterfall model, how it will work, we are going to see. So waterfall model, what it will do is there will be step-by-step procedure. So how we are going to do, if you want to develop this particular application, what we need first? First, we need requirement. So from client, we are going to get the requirement. Whatever the requirement, it can be like how the application should work, what is the procedure, how what and all details we have to get it. Like for example, Facebook. So in the Facebook, what and all we get, like username, then how image will show profile picture and posts, how it will work, and any reels, then videos uploading. These kind of requirements we are going to get from the client. Next is design part. Design. Next, once we get the design, then implementation. Implementation is nothing but coding. Next is testing. Next is deployment. So once testing is done, it's go to deployment. And next is maintenance. So these are the software development life cycle which we follow under waterfall model. So here, what and all stages who is going to work in the IT in our team wise. So in the requirement part, architect and TL will work. So if you take here, this one will be work taken care by architect. So architect and team leaders will be taken care. So this will be collecting all the requirements from the client, what and all they required in this particular application. So once we get all these details from the client, then what they are going to connect, they are going to schedule the meetings, scrum meeting, and they are going to connect with the developers to implement, design. So design is the part, it will be UI designers. So there will be different teams for design and implementation part. So design will be taken care by again architect or TL. So otherwise there is a different team for UI design, architect or UI designers. Next, implementation or coding. So this part will be taken care by developers. So here what it will come, once we get the design details, developers will work like front end and back end developers, how the application should work, what and all we are going to implement, and everything they are going to write the write the code for this one, and they are going to proceed to the further stage, that is a testing. So what is the testing team will do? QA team, quality analyst or testing, which we are going to use here. Here QA team will be working on this particular. So here whatever the developer has made the code, everything will be testing in this particular stage. If there is anything bugs or any like which is not working, they are going to find out in the test coding, and again they are going to send back to the developers. So what it will happen, if everything is good, then only it will go for deployment, otherwise it will go for the developers. That is how it will work. And once it is done, then deployment will be taken care. So deployment, who is going to handle the deployment? It will be release, like release engineers or middleware admins. So here they are going to take care. So once it is done, then from here it will be completely production department, like how production will work in the live. Here once deployment is completed, then it will go for the maintenance. Maintenance is nothing but support. So support and operations, it will be taken care by support team or operations team. So whenever we get, for example, Facebook is facing some issue, like if you see Facebook is down, or Facebook some images are not working, upload is not working, these kind of issues, everything will go to the support team. If there is anything related to a code or bugs, then they are going to send it, raise the bug to the development team. This is how it will work in the waterfall model. So everything is good in the waterfall model. Then again, why we are going to use DevOps? What is the use of DevOps? So if you follow the waterfall model, here in the architect like requirement stage, it will take at least 1 week time, and again the design part it will take 2 weeks. Then in the coding part, it will take 1 month or 2 months of time to write a code, and again once it go testing, and they will take some 2 weeks time for testing, and again they are going to send back to the development if there is a bug. So it will take complete procedure of software development cycle, life cycle. It will take up to 6 months of time, but clients will ask, we need application release in within 3 to 4 months, but how we are going to do? Using this waterfall model, we were not able to deliver it to the client. That's why DevOps methodology has implemented after this particular waterfall model. So DevOps methodology is implemented. Why? It can be combination of DevOps development and operations. So development will be included, development team, coding implementation team and design team, and then operations team will be included, deployment and maintenance. So all together going to work. It is a combination of development and operations. That's why it will be easy to build an application and deliver to the client. So here we are going to mainly get the time, time consuming. So we are going to save more time, and also we are going to save more money wise as well. Okay, so now we are going to see how DevOps will work here. So if you are using these stages, and how DevOps will work in the software development life cycle, let me explain it. Okay, now DevOps. So in the DevOps, we are going to see development and operations. Right. Okay, so in DevOps also there are multiple coders, multiple developers which are working on particular application. So there are three different developers writing the code for the same project, same application and same project we are going to take. So there is a Facebook application. We are going to work on development part. Here there is a three different developers. One is developer one and another is developer two, developer three. So these are the working. These are all the three users. Three developers are working on same project, but they are working on different modules. So if you take it, one is working on this particular person is working on home page, and this person is working on the different modules, and this developer three working on different modules. So whatever the changes has done, they are going to push the code into one particular repository. Repository nothing but you can take it one particular folder. So they are going to push the code into this particular folder altogether. So whenever the code is deployed, so he is going to push the code into this particular bucket. So this is the folder where all the code can be accessible by all the users. And he is also like uh, another user, another developer also pushing the code from his local to this particular folder. All of them. Okay. See, all of them pushing the code into the this particular folder continuously. So whenever the one file is completed, they are going to push. If another code, another this one, another file is completed, they are going to push. So what we call this particular folder, we call it GitHub. So GitHub or GitLab, we have multiple. So we are going to discuss about what they are. So GitHub is nothing but it is a remote repository. Source code management we are going to use. So as a source code management, we can use this one. Whenever the code is pushed, all the team members can see this particular code in this particular project. So all the people means it is not public. It will be under that particular organization and project level. So once code is pushed, then what it's going to happen, completely it is taken care by DevOps team from here, this particular stage. So what it will happen, once this is done, then we are going to build it. So how build will work, by using Maven or any build tool. Maven or Gradle, you can take it. And once the build is completed, then we are going to use Sonar Cube. So if you check in the previous one, it is completely design part and coding part. After this one, we are going to use the testing part. Here in the Sonar Cube, we are going to use the automation testing. So automation testing will be taken care by DevOps team here. So we are going to check this one. It will go to from here. It will go, and again this one will go to the Sonar Cube as well. So code is deployed to these two different. First here what it will do, this one will be build. Using the Maven, we are going to build it. Build. We are going to build, and once the build is completed, then we are going to test it. So testing is nothing but here just we are going to check the code quality. So code quality checking purpose, we are going to use Sonar Cube. And once the code quality is checked, then we are going to use deployment. So deployment is we are not going to use manual process. We are directly use the CI/CD tool. CI/CD is nothing, is one of the main important tools in the DevOps. So that is Jenkins, or we can use Azure DevOps. These are the one of the major CI/CD tools. So CI/CD is nothing but continuous integration and continuous deployment. So that one will be taken care by, once these two is completed, then it will come to the here. So once build is done, then the code push into the Jenkins repository. From Jenkins, again we are going to use CI/CD. CI/CD is nothing but continuous integration and continuous deployment. So deploying and integration. So integration is nothing but combination of all the tools with the Jenkins one tool. So once the integration, continuous integration and deployment has done, we are going to deploy this code into the servers. So servers deploying is, we are going to use application servers, or directly we can deploy to the cloud. So if you want to deploy into multiple clouds, how we are going to deploy? That is automation we have to do. So all three servers, we will be having 100 number of servers in the direct client environment. So how it's going to manage? So for that purpose, we are going to use one of the configuration management tools or continuous deployment tools. That one will be Ansible. So Ansible, or there are multiple tools are there. One of the example is Ansible, and other like Chef, Puppet. These are we can use for the continuous deployment. So it will take care complete procedure, like deployment will be immediately whenever the code is written, build, tested, and then it will go to the deployment part. So all these servers at a time, from here to all these servers, it will go at a time. That is a what is a tool we are going to use is Ansible. So Ansible we are going to use for the auto deployment. So we'll be having multiple servers here: server 1, server 2, and server 3. So these all the three we are going to use Tomcat servers. So Tomcat is the application server, and we are going to deploy this application into Tomcat server if it is Java application. If this is not Java application and we are going to use as a microservices, then we are going to use a Kubernetes for the auto deployments. So auto deployments, once the CI/CD is completed, then we are going to use Kubernetes for the automatic deployment and auto scaling. So whenever the usage is increasing or whenever is decreasing, it should take care automatically. For that one, we are going to use a Kubernetes. So Kubernetes is a highly advanced technology which we are using in the DevOps methodology. So that is one of the important technology which we can use. So once deployment is done, then what is the next procedure? Once deployment is done, then we are going to use the maintenance, that is the support and operations. So for that one, we have to use some of the monitoring tools. So whenever the issue is happened, we can't check manually one by one. So for that one of the support tools we are going to use, that is monitoring tools. So monitoring tools we are going to use to monitor the applications or servers. That is, you can see Grafana or Prometheus. So these are the main monitoring tools which we are using in the current industry, so that we can check it in this particular DevOps. So here we are going to use mainly for the operations and supporting purpose. So we are going to monitor continuous monitoring. We call it continuous monitoring. So continuous monitoring, like whenever the issue is happening, we should get the alerts and we should get the notifications from these particular applications. So once it is done, then if there is any issues, then again we are going to connect with the development team to resolve those issues. Or if there is anything related to servers, then our DevOps engineering team should take care of this particular issues. That is how it will work. And here when it comes to DevOps, why it will take less time to complete all the software development life cycle. We are going to, within quick time, developers will write the code and they will be releasing the code. Like each models we are going to directly deploy into the servers, and clients can be used. Once the application is deployed into this particular servers, then clients can use in the live application. So whenever they are facing the issue, then they come back with the support team, and if there is anything related to code or any server issues, then support team will take care of that. That is how DevOps will work. So in the DevOps, we have multiple tools, like as we see, these are the main tools which we have used. So let me work. So as we discussed, it will start from the planning, that is a requirement, and coding, it will be development part, and from here we are going to take complete handover from the build. So building the application, then testing, then releasing it to the servers, deploying it to the production, then operations team will take care and monitor. These are the complete dev and ops. So you can see this part will under the development, and this part will come under the operations. That is how dev and operations are divided. So when some of the companies are interviews, they can ask you, are you part of development and or operations? So if you are working on mainly these tools like Maven, Jenkins, and Selenium, Git, then it will be DevOps development. If you are working on mainly like monitoring parts like Nagios, Datadog, Kubernetes, Ansible, this will be operations part. That is how development and operations divided. Okay, so these are the main parts which we can discuss, and the deployment will be mainly we have to use a cloud, that is a AWS cloud which we can use. So now we have checked what is the DevOps and how it is worked in the industry. But why should you learn the DevOps? When it comes to DevOps, like why should I learn? There are other technologies as well, like cloud, then development, testing, data science, this and all. But if you learning DevOps will be like advantage for the both professionally and personally, like where you can improve yourself, and also there will be advantage of advanced technologies in the software development and IT operations. That is how if you learn now, if you learn some of the technologies in the DevOps, in the future also it will be improving, like we will be getting multiple advanced technology, we can learn, we will get the chance to learn. So in that one, some of the points you can see here: career advancement, like in the DevOps you can see there is a huge demand in the IT industry. Wherever you go, DevOps will be main key point, like everyone is hiring now. Organization are increasingly adopting DevOps practices, creating strong demand for professionals. So if you check in the last before 10 years, there are very less DevOps openings. But when you check now, every company using DevOps methodology. Without DevOps, there is no application is developing. And salary wise, you can check it, like it will be high salaries and also good number of packages we can get it by using DevOps. Okay. Next is broad, like we can get a skill set like versatility. We can use DevOps encompasses range of skills including automation, cloud computing, CI/CD. So in the DevOps also we are going to divide multiple types, like it will be cloud computing side and also CI/CD side, infrastructure management. So we can get into different roles as well. Even in the DevOps we have different type of roles we have. So if you check it, there is a DevOps engineer exam. First is a main role, DevOps engineer, and we have DevSecOps engineer. If you learn DevOps, everything will be come under this one only. So SRE is nothing but site reliability engineer. site reliability engineer, and also we get cloud ops engineer, then cloud engineer, then we get infrastructure engineer, infra engineer. So all these roles will be come under DevOps only. So whatever you have learned in the DevOps course or any your own, so it will be depends upon the your technical skills. You can get all these designations. So mainly DevOps engineer is a one particular role, but under this one we can get a site reliability engineer or cloud ops engineer. Cloud ops engineer will be mainly working on cloud, and site reliability is a different one. So like that we can get a different roles if you learn DevOps. And increased collaboration and communication skills. So here in the DevOps we cannot work as a one particular team. We have to connect with different teams. So by using these methodologies we can get more, we can increase our communication skills and faster collaboration between development and operations team. That is why one of the advantage. And operation opportunities to innovation. So continuous improvement. The focus on continuous improvement is in DevOps is a culture of experimentation. So here we get the innovation, like every time we have to improve ourselves and we have to connect with the different teams to get into the work. Next is job security. So job security is nothing but like if you have experience or good knowledge on DevOps, wherever you go, you will be getting the jobs. Even there are a lot of layoffs happening, so we can get into the different projects or different company if you have good experience on the DevOps technologies. Future proofing. As more organizations adopt DevOps practices, having expertise in this area can provide job security and career stability in a competitive job market. So if you have good experience and good knowledge, even there is layoffs happening, you won't face any issues if you have enough confidence. Then first, personal satisfaction. So it will be professional growth. Mastering DevOps can be highly satisfy you. Benefits of like working in the faster releases, improve quality, and better team dynamics. This kind of growth we can get into the DevOps. And also achievements like challenge of learning and implementing DevOps practices can be rewarding and fulfilling our personal professional growth. This is what I mean by DevOps and how we can get into the DevOps. Okay, so if you want to learn DevOps, then what is the main basic skills you should learn? So first thing is Linux. So Linux operating system is a very important to work in DevOps. So if at least you should know the basics of Linux, and then any one of the cloud, any cloud. So it can be AWS or Azure. Mainly I can prefer AWS here. So if you learn AWS basics, then it will be easy to learn DevOps and also easy to work on DevOps. Then next is some of the basic tools, basic DevOps tools. That is comes like Git version control, then Maven build tool, then Tomcat application server, then Sonar Cube. So these are the basic tools which if you know it will be good. Then is next CI/CD tool. So CI/CD tool we are going to check like as we discuss Jenkins is a CI/CD tool. So Jenkins is very important to learn for the DevOps engineer. Then Docker containers. So Docker containers. So if you want to make a containerization application, then you should learn the containers. So Docker containers is nothing but kind of virtual machines we are going to use inside the Dockers. So we can use it in the Linux or Windows as well. And next is Kubernetes. So Kubernetes is a very big technology. Like if you want to learn Kubernetes, we need more time on Kubernetes. So that is also one of the important technology. And next is Ansible. Ansible is for the configuration management purpose. We have to learn. And next is last, it should be any monitoring tool you have to learn. So these are the main skills which you required for the DevOps engineer. If you know all these tools, at least basics level, if you know basic level, then fine. If you know advanced level, then definitely you will be get job, and also you can survive in the current IT industry. These are the so if you want to learn this, you can prefer any course, or you can learn from the YouTube as well. As we are using many YouTube channels are teaching free YouTube classes, free DevOps classes. You can learn from the DevOps YouTube itself.
So how many hours takes for learning all this
Yeah, sorry,
Linux?
I missed to mention. So for Linux basics only, you need at least 8 to 10 hours. So for
So Linux
Linux,
is compulsory for DevOps.
yes. So without Linux, we cannot work on DevOps, because every servers will be in the Linux only. No, very rare
Okay.
this Windows using. So
Windows,
every company is using only Linux operating system. In Linux, we have
okay.
different flavors like Red Hat, Ubuntu, CentOS.
Ubuntu, yeah.
Yeah, and also there is another one, like if you are good enough in the scripting, that will be more advantages. Like scripting can be shell scripting or Python. Or so mainly we are using shell scripting, shell or bash we call. So that is one of the important, because shell scripting we are going to use in the Linux. So if you know Linux commands, then shell scripting is nothing. It will be easy to write. Then cloud. So cloud will be taking at least 15 hours to learn basics. And all these tools, at least each tool will be 3 hours, and we are going to use 12 hours for learning these four tools. And DevOps alone will require 10 to 12 hours. And next, Docker required 6 to 8 hours time to learn how Docker will work and how to create a Docker images and all. Then Kubernetes, so it required 15 hours time to learn Kubernetes deployments, and 8 hours for the Ansible. Monitoring tool, if you learn one monitoring tool, at least required 6 hours time. And shell scripting depends upon the how which you if you are you want to learn shell scripting, you can learn it in the 6 hours, as you already learned Linux. So basic Linux if you know, then shell scripting is easy to learn. So these are the timings you can use, and you can learn accordingly. So any doubts?
Like we have to learn all these things, or we can skip anything which we know.
So if you want to skip, first thing is these two is mandatory. Without these two,
Okay.
we cannot learn DevOps. And once these two is done, without these basics, you can directly use learn these three as well. Because Kubernetes alone, you can get n number of job opportunities. Because Kubernetes is one of the major DevOps tool. So if you know Kubernetes completely, so for example, if you make it a Kubernetes administrator certificate, then you can get the
Okay.
job easily and without knowing these tools. But if you know these basics, it will be easy to understand Kubernetes. That is how
Okay.
the flow will go. If you directly go to the Kubernetes without knowing any knowledge on IT or Linux, then you can't understand Kubernetes. So why we choose basic tools first is step by step we have to go. If you know the first steps, then it will be easy to understand this and all.
Okay.
And when comes to Jenkins, if you want to integrate Jenkins with other tools, you if you want to Jenkins integrate with Git, then you should know Git. If you want to integrate with Maven, then you should know Maven, like that. But if you want to directly, I will learn Docker containers and Kubernetes, then fine. These two, and these two is the important. Sorry, these two, Kubernetes and Docker containers.
Docker containers.
That is how you can plan to learn. And other like AWS cloud is very important. You should at least know the some of the services, basic services. You can create a free tier account and you can start working on, like 1 year you will get the free access.
Yeah. The
You
free
can,
access of
yeah,
AWS.
you can use any services as a free tier limit. Yeah, that's it for today. So please subscribe my Catch DevOps YouTube channel for free AWS DevOps course. I'm going to start in upcoming days and I will upload in the YouTube channel. Please subscribe and follow up on my channel. Thank you everyone for watching.